Welcome back. So let's try and make a new fact right here. What we're going to test is that a name cannot be more than 20 characters. Now, it's just to kind of show you guys this, that the amount really doesn't matter. But default validation with location name over 20 characters, just to kind of have something, throws argument out of range. And let's say the name must be less than 20 characters, like this. And then we have something to kind of go with right here. And again, it's just to show you how simple it actually is to create this. And let's now create something with 20 characters. So now we have plenty of characters right there, and let's just try and now run the unit test. And notice that was pretty much all I had to do. Now I can rerun my unit test. A new validator test has popped up down here, and hopefully it'll fail right now because we don't have that test right now. So again, the point is that it should be fairly simple for us to do this. Now let's go and fix it. And again, I know that we have to kind of go into the default validation in the location. So let's go up there, location validator. Let's go into the default validation right here. And there we have if location.name.length above 20 characters. Then we throw an exception similar to this one. Argument cannot be less than 20 characters. Now, again, there are so many things you can kind of test right here, but I just want to show you what it actually takes to kind of use this right here. Let's try and go back. Now I also want to talk later about using, there we go. I'm going to talk about later actually using a theory instead of using a fact, and that can help you in these scenarios where you have multiple characters and then you can test you're getting exceptions. But there we go. Look at how fast that unit test actually was to write and how fast we actually did test-driven development right there where we proved this was wrong and then we added the logic and now we are up and running again. And my point is just when we get to a point where we start having some easy to write tests, it really starts getting effective to do this. So let's try and create another fact right here. I'm going to kind of copy paste. Let's go up here. I'm going to grab this one with location name empty. We're going to make that as a new field right here for the location address right here to kind of create a new property inside our location object. So here we have a new location right here. Let's actually do this as a variable. Now we could start using the properties we're sending in from the outside, but let's just do it like this, var location. And it's going to be a new location like this. And then we're going to say location.name equals, and we need to put in a name right here. So let's say the village, that's where we live. There we go. And then we are going to add a second field right here, location.address. That's the new field we're going to build, equals to blank for now, but it's a blank string. So there we go. We cannot continue the test until we actually have this new field. So I'll generate this property right here. There we go. Now we'll get a setter for the address as well. Let's jump back to our test. And then the final thing we need to do is say we expect the property cannot be empty exception for this location right here. And we expect the message to be address needs to be a value, right? So again, I set up a test pretty quickly there, and let's just rerun the unit tests. There we go. Boink, we have a failing test saying that it doesn't throw that exception. Of course it doesn't, because if we go and check out our validator again, right now we're not guiding ourselves on that part. So let's go back to location validator. So now we'll go and create a new test right here, and let's actually steal this one because that was the one we built earlier. So I'll go here and I'll say location address, and then I'll throw an exception of address right here if that is empty. And there we go. Now let's rerun our tests. And again, notice test-driven development just got a lot simpler to kind of get going with these new exceptions right here. And we have a running test again. And now we can also go, if we want to, kind of help our test helper right here. So I'll go on location test helper, and I'll actually add a new thing to the test helper. So we can also pass in the string of address like this if we want to, equals and just a blank string, and then we'll use that address on our location. There we go, and there we go. So now we have that available here as well, and then we can go back and we can refactor our code if we want to not actually create a new location like this, but just use the location helper like this and pass that in directly and pass in the village and then a blank string like this. That's actually all you have to do like this, because then the address will automatically be blank. And again, notice now we kind of refactor our code. After we did that, let's just rerun the tests. See that everything is still green. It still is, so we're happy. And now we just created a new property for location. And notice now we can actually start speeding up a lot if I want to start testing these things. And again, do test driven. So that's it for this lesson. See you next time. Have fun.